Well, it's Uncommon Fossil today. I want to take a look at Aerodactyl from 151. This is a stage 1. It evolves from a fossil. Actually, it evolves from an amber, antique old amber, which is an item card. If you're not familiar with this, let me just jump into that mechanic. All right, so antique old amber is a 60 HP item card. And it says here in the text, you play this card as if it were a 60 HP basic colorless Pokemon. This card can't be affected by special conditions and can't retreat at any time during your turn. You may discard this card from play. So you cannot make this your starter in the game because it is not it becomes a Pokemon once it is played, but until it is played, when it's in your hand, your deck, the discard pile, it is an item card. So it makes it harder to get into play than a Pokemon. So we don't really want to utilize the normal evolution system. So I'm playing a Zoroark box in it. But okay, so getting back to Aerodactyl, what it does, it's a stage 1 single prize, and it's got this very interesting attack, devolution rate, 100 damage for 2 colorless energy. And if your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolved Pokemon, devolve it by putting the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's hand. So what that means, if they have a Charizard EX that was evolved with the rare candy, the Charizard goes back to your opponent's deck, and then you will do 100 damage, or 80 if you have a DTE, excuse me, thereby one-shotting the basic. Now, you don't get the 2 prizes like you do when you knock out an EX, but you get the 1 prize, and you get rid of that Charizard EX, which is a problem. So Charizard EX, boom, take that out. Pidgeot EX, boom, take it out. So these rare candy cards, you can one-shot by devolving them and using this attack. So it's a lot of fun and pretty effective. Obviously, it's situational. So it's a Zoroark box deck. I don't play a lot of Zoroark, but I have been getting a good amount of practice with the deck, trying to just get a better handle on it, because it's a different style of play with these decks, and you just needs time and practice to get the hang of it. And it's not exactly my style, these decks, but they are good and they're interesting. So well worth my time, and you're worth your time too. So Zoroark is a single prize stage 1. It has the Phantom Transformation ability. Once during your turn, you may choose a stage 1 Pokemon except a Zoroark from your discard pile. If you do, discard this Pokemon and all attached cards and put the chosen Pokemon in its place. So it becomes any other Pokemon you want. Can be done from the bench, from the active. Now, you do discard all attached cards, which means the energy, so do not attach energy until you have transformed the card. And it does have an attack 70 for 2 colorless, and there are times when that is useful as well. But generally, we're evolving into, it's a box deck with a month of stage 1. So we've had the Aerodactyl. We play we play a 4/4 Zoroark because we have to get that up every turn. And you have to stream it. We have some rods to get some back because you don't want to miss attack once you get going generally. Although we have to be careful because we are using reversal energy, so whether we're ahead or behind in the prize count matters a lot too. I'll just hit these other pieces before the other attackers. A 3/3 Kirlia engine, right? Discard a card, draw 2. We need to get these Pokemon in the discard pile, so makes sense as the engine for this deck. And it's a good engine anyway. Manaphy, we have Kirlias, Zoroark, and such on the bench. We need to protect them, so Manaphy. And then we also play a Hisuian Basculin. This, if we go second, particularly on turn 1, is really optimal. For no energy, gather the crew. You'd search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench. We gotta get Ralts and Zoruas into play on a regular basis. So it is a useful attack, and even sometimes mid-game, there are times I think it helps things out. All right, getting into the attacking options. The Aerodactyl, like I said, that de-evolves. Flapple for Acid Mucus for 1 colorless, does 50 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon that has an ability. The Cetitan, we're using a special horn on that. It's 3 energy, water, colorless, so we need to use reversal energy. We have to be behind the prizes to use it. But if it does 180 plus 80 plus 140, so 220, a very nice number. With 1 reversal energy behind the prizes. Play an Oinkologne EX. This is the 1 stage 2 prize Pokemon we play. It is a stage 1 still, so, and Zoroark can become EXs, which is nice. It's tankier. It does, depending on the match, there's certain matchups where the prize math is better with this. We usually attack You attack with 1 energy. Normally, Maddening Scent does 10 plus 3 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Hisuian Arcanine, which is a fighting type. With a deck like this, you want to take advantage of weakness too by a number of different attacking types. Scorching Horn, again, 3 energy, some of which is fighting. So we have to have reversal energy to pull this attack off. If this Pokemon has any fire energy attached to it, does 80 more. And it's burn, so it does 160 damage and burns your opponent, and it hits for fighting weakness. So a nice option there. This Slowbro, super important Pokemon. This is often the win con for this deck. Twilight Inspiration for 2 colorless energy. You can use this attack only if your opponent has exactly 1 prize card remaining. Take 2 prize cards. So ideally, you want to be in a game. If you're behind by 1 prize card on a consistent basis, that's a pretty good place to be. You end your turn, or you start your turn where your opponent has 1 prize left. You have 2 prizes left. Use Slowbro. Boom, 2 prizes. Game over. GG. Twilight Inspiration, super important, and figuring out the prize mapping and how you get there really is I find that's part of the challenge to this deck. Play a Jolteon. This is one of the cards that evolves from Eevee, of course, for fighting lightning. Does 90 plus 90 more if you're up against an EX or a V, and of course hits for lightning weakness. So a very nice attacking option there. Again, you have to have reversal energy to use that attack. And the last Pokemon, Mightyena, which has the ability Hustle Bark. If your opponent's Pokemon. If opponent has any VMAX in play, this Pokemon's attack cost is 3 colors less, does 160. So it can one-shot Dark Weak Pokemon, and that is quite nice. It's a nice option there. We only use it for limited matchups, but when the opponent plays VMAXs and they're weak to Dark, like Mew, excuse me for the yawn, like against Mew VMAX, it is a card you really need to have. So very good there. So energies, I'll hit that for the trainers, which I usually do. 4 DTE, 4 reversal energy. This is how we're powering up most of our attacks between these two. We don't have any energy recovery, so just be careful with the energy as the game goes on. It's partly why this deck does not play a card like Professor's Research. It's good, but discarding energies, got to be very careful with that. And the reversals, of course, you can only use when you're behind on prize. Well, it provides 1 energy, but to get 3 energies of any type, you have to be behind in prizes there. So keep that in mind as the game goes on. And then Jet Energy provides 1 colorless, and you switch from bench to active. Useful for powering up the Oinkologne EX, or to get the Basculin, the active, to use its attack in particular. So it does have some value in the deck. And also you can get a Flapple from the bench to the active with it too, because that attacks for 1 colorless. So has value in a few places. So Jet Energy, additional switching option, I think is nice. All right, getting into the trainers here. Pokemon Search, we have 4 level balls. Gets us the Zoruas, the Ralts, and the Kirlias, as well as 1 or 2 of the other Pokemon in the deck. So very good there. And then 4 Ultra Ball, search out any Pokemon we want and discard 2 cards. And of course, we need to discard those Stage 1 Pokemon that we want to use Zoroark to get into. So discarding is very important with this deck. I'll hit, while talking about discarding, also then play 2 Zinnia's Resolve. You discard 2 cards from hand, draw 1 for each Pokemon your opponent has in play. So nice draw option. Get some more discarding option, because if we had to get the Pokemon we need to attack with that turn with Ultra Ball, then we can play Zinnia's to discard it. We need some different discarding options, just important in a deck like this. So Zinnia's I like in this deck. All right. Talking about Pokemon, also Rescue Carrier is very good. Get some Zoruas back. Get Ralts. Get Kirlia, right, from the discard into deck, 90 HP or less Pokemon back into your hand, so very useful there. And then 2 Super Rods, we got to get those Zoroarks back into the deck, because we need to, often take 5, might get knocked out 5 times a lot of times, and that's okay. We need to be able to attack. We need that 6th copy of Zoroark to attack with in the game, so Rod is the only way to make something like that happen. All right, we play 1 Bruno, very nice in this deck. If you're knocked out last turn, then you draw to shuffle your hand, and your deck draws to 7 cards. Arezu, very important there. Search your deck for 3 evolution Pokemon without a rule box. reveal and put into your hand. So can grab a Zoroark, can grab a Kirlia, can grab a Pokemon we want to discard with Kirlia, then boom, evolve to Zoroark, boom, evolve Kirlia, discard the card we want to attack with, and as long as we have energy hit into it, we're all set to attack. Arezu, very nice in this deck. 2 Artisans. Sorry about that sound in the background there. 2 Artisans. Right, search your deck for a non-rule box Pokemon, put it onto the bench. That's good. We do want to bump Lost Zone. Lost Zone, obviously we lose the attacking Pokemon that we want for that matchup, so Lost Zone can be pretty brutal. So Artazon both to set up, because setting up is so important. We got to have a Zorua on the bench every turn, because our attacker, we assume, is going to get knocked out every turn, so we need to power up and set up the next turn. 2 Boss's Orders, know how good that is. 4 Iono's good early and late to disrupt our opponents. And then 1 switch card, I think, is the last of the cards I haven't mentioned. So a very solid list, and let's jump in the ladder and see what we can do with the deck. All right, we can see what we can do with the deck this game. Call heads, hopefully go first, right? We'd love to be able to, an evolution deck. Okay, won the coin toss. Obviously, we do have the, I'm blanking the name. Not the Slowbro, but the blank, the one that attacks for, puts 2 on the bench, the Basculin, which, I'm still going to put the Basculin in the active. It's a bit of a risk. As the game goes on, I want Basculin out of the way, but I might need to set up, okay, Lightning deck. So my opponent may then be happy to go second. They might get the knockout, in which case that's also a reason to have the Basculin in the active, right? Because I'm going to bench a Ralts, bench a Zorua, and that probably is it. Yep, that's it. So we'll see what happens here. Done. See what I draw, and then I probably just hit pass. They started the Mew. That's what they want. Okay, that's good too. That's much better. And I will end turn. Now, the one issue is with the Basculin in the active is I may need to retreat. So to attack from the bench, I might use the Jet Energy. Okay, so my opponent did nothing. I like nothing, so I do. Wow. Okay, so I don't want Iono because they did nothing, right? I don't want a Zinnias because I don't want to get rid of these cards. So I think I'm going to gather the crew. And now with the new, I'm gonna, let's see. What's the Kirlia situation? I have 3 Kirlia, so there we go. Fill up my bench, and I'll probably Iono next turn if I have to. But I have the bench set up exactly the way I want it now, so that's good. So they can copy my attack. So I just have to be thinking of that as the game goes on. All right. Wow. Okay, I think I got Iono. Zinnia, that gets me like nothing, right? And I think I need to get going here. I can't just continue to do nothing. So now I'm getting my opponent going too. So it's a real risk for sure with this. All right, so I can go into I'll get rid of Iono and the Zorua, because I like the Arezu for next turn, right? I will get... the problem is I don't have an attacker. This isn't really good, is it? And I use my supporter, so I'm still a turn away from doing anything, really, right? I could still use my... I don't, right, I have no attackers, so I think I just end turn. That was not a good turn of thing. It was a risk, right? Because the problem is the Zinnias helps discard, but I had to get a Ralts down. So they played the Zapdos, so that is a real concern for me. I was afraid of that. I let my opponent set up. This turn will determine a lot. Right now, a Zapdos to me is rough, but see, now I could use it like if they had these cards in play, I would use Zinnias before, but of course they didn't, which is so they're going to retreat, knock out my active. That's not terrible though, right? if that's their play, well, I need to get a bit lucky here, right? Let's think here. I have my fighting attacker that will one-shot him behind. I need to have energy though, so that's a writ. That could be the problem, right? So let's see what happens here, and then the whole prize thing gets weird too, right? Because then I will be, taking out the. All right, I'm gonna just do the Arezu. I want my fighting attacker. I want a Kirlia. And so I need another card to discard, right? Another card to discard. So I'll grab the Flapple, because the Flapple can attack for 1 energy. He'll do a little. Actually, he knocks him out, doesn't he? I think he knocks him out. Right? Flapple, 50 per with ability 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is going well here, I think. So okay, so I can 1, 2. I have a boss too. So Flapple. And then you have to select it again. I haven't tried picking the other card yet. I don't know what the game does if you try and do that, right? It should be, yeah, 200. So that's quite nice. So boom, one shot the Raikou V. So Flapple is very nice here. I can attack with Flapple again next turn, right? If I keep this in, I have boss. There's a good chance I actually can gust something up from the bench. Like I could gust up the Zapdos, which I would like to do, right? The Raichu's not really a threat to me because it can one-shot the Oinkologne, right? That's where it helps them out. But otherwise, I probably don't want to attack with Oinkologne this game, I don't think. So what I need to do is I need to get a Zoroark with this hand. So now the problem is Zapdos shuts me down this turn, and that's gonna be a problem. And this is big. They failed, so that's huge for me. So they're gonna copy my attack. They knock me out very easily. I just need to get him back in play. Right? They haven't played okay, good. So they're not. Let's see what they grab with Arven. See if it disrupts my plans. I really do want to take out that Zapdos. I'm scared of Zapdos. Made a recent video. So got another generator. If they hit 2, then they grass. Good. They got 1. That is good. Actually, 1 is even better than none because they just burn through more energies in the deck. So I need to. It's very simple. Well, I need boss, right? I need to use boss, and I need to hit Zoroark. I could use Rod to increase my odds some. All right, let me grab this. Let me see what I don't know that I really want to. So I have 3 Zoroarks, so my odds of hitting the Zoroark are decent. I really need to make this happen. So I think I will. I need to hit Zoroark. That's it. So I'm going to ditch an Iono. I probably ditch both Ionos. All right, all right, I have 2 rods. This is a risky play, but I'm looking to increase my odds here. So I'm just going to put the Zoroark back in the deck, and that's it. Right now I have 4 Zoroarks, just getting the odds as high as possible. I'm going to get rid of Iono. Now, I probably can't take the... All right, good. So that's super, super good. All right, so I'm going to... All right, what am I going to get rid of? I need to... I think I want to keep the rod. That's kind of where my head is at right now. And I like those. I'm going to get rid of DT. I don't normally do that. I'm always super concerned about special energy, but okay, so that's okay. Zoroark. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, because they evolved into Flaffy, they got 4 with special energy, 4 with abilities. So I grab Flapple again, and I can't use the reversal energy. I don't have it anyway, but it doesn't work for me. So attach here. Boss Zapdos. So this is big. This is big. In one sense, I would like, if I take out the Flapple, then that does give me the option of grabbing the 2 prizer to jump into the lead. Okay, so Aerodactyl will also, let's think. He doesn't really help me this game, does he? I might need to attack with something like him, though. So Bravery Charm, which they need to do to get him out of range, right? But I got the bench attacker out of the way, which was huge. That's really what I wanted to do. So he's going to blow me up. He's got his V-Star power, so that's a nice card for him to get. Raihan, okay, so going very nicely here. I assume they're going to attack with, at this point, my Flapple does 150. So they don't really want to get down into the Pokemon with an ability, probably. But okay, so he's going to get back probably the Zapdos EX. I'm not going to get to really see it. I kind of saw something flicker by, right? But they should be revealing it, right? It doesn't say it on the card, but that is the way the game's been ruled by the judges, and that's how it's been for years. Lost Artazon, which is fine. I need to make this work here. I need to do something here, right? Just do something. I might need to use my other rod this turn because I need to, of course, get. So my reversal energy is no good to me at all. All right, so I might use Xinius here too. Xinius isn't bad. Let's see what I hit into here. So Mightyena's good. Yeah, I'll use my other Kirlia. So I have Zoroark. I'm going to attack. I've got to get, obviously, Pokemon into play. I need to get another Zorua on the bench as a given. I guess I attack with Flapple, maybe. Let's see, what's the boss situation? I think I have 1 in deck. Okay, so let me... what am I going to get rid of here? All right, I need... I need a Zorua, right? So do I... Xinias? 1, 2, 3, and I draw 4 cards. I think I... wow, this is rough here. This is rough here. So, Ultra Ball. I'm going to keep the Xinias at this point, I think. I'm going to get rid of Reversal. And I need a Zorua on the bench. That's what has to happen. Now, I'm vulnerable to the Zapdos EX. Zapdos EX could ruin my day, for sure. All right, so I need to pick an attacker. Well, he does 120. So let me. What are my other attacking options here? 50. I guess I do more with Flapple still. Okay, so Flapple's fine. then I have to decide which energy I attach, right? I think it should be doing, right? One, oh, path, they have path down. I really blew that, didn't I? I blew that. I forgot path shut off their abilities. So that's bad. That's horrible on my part. So big misplay. I forgot about path. So path protected them. They're down to 200 though. So that does mean I'm going to hit for, right? So no, they're only going to take one prize though. Sorry for the noise, the background noise. I think they're doing some yard lawn work outside. That was a big mistake. Big mistake there. Should have. I just should have attacked with the active. I just should have attacked with Zoroark. That was the best situation for me. Let's see what they do. That's right. Oh, so they can't get the Zapdos EX into play very easily. Let's see what happens. I made a huge mistake. A huge mistake. Let's see what happens here. What's the Zoroark situation? Okay, so boss. I don't think I need boss here, right? I might want to use Zinnias, I think. I don't think I want boss. I want cards is what I want. Okay, that's not terrible, is it? Well, they win the game with him getting knocked out. So I don't think I can afford. I don't think they can't one-shot him though, right? No. Oh, yes, they can with him. So let me level ball for. What do I do here? Do I have boss in the deck? I don't have. Do I have boss? No. Okay, so. And I can. There's a good chance. There's a good chance they can't win this next turn, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to end turn here. I don't have Slowbro in the discard pile, do I? I do not. So I need to hit Slowbro. But Slowbro will get, I mean, assuming they knock me out, and I assume they will, then I have two Kirlias. I do have a Ralts. And that's fine. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, that play, but that's fine. It shouldn't matter. It's 200 HP to knock them out. The weakness is different, actually. The weakness is actually better, right? Because now I can one-shot you now with him. So, so if I get a Zoroark, I also have the knockout now. So I don't. They made my life easier with that play. So I got to win this turn. That's what I got to do. So let me get. Can I thin? I can't. All right, no basics there. That's fine. Oh, okay. The Slowbro is prized, I guess. I wasn't. All right, that is sloppy on my part. I should have known that. So, get rid of him. Obviously, I just need a Zoroark. I'll get rid of those energies. I mean, because I got to win this turn, right? I have to win this turn. So I don't need these energies. These energies are excessive. So there we go. And that should give me game. Kirlia, Cetitan to discard. So easy peasy, right? So just make sure I got the guy I need there. Does in your fighting week, right? Just double checking all my things. Sorry. Just want to make sure I got what I needed. I'm pretty sure I have it. So, and then you pick it, and then you pick it again. I don't know what's with that. So, and then I have reversal, and it gives me game. So, boom. I don't know why they made that switch, right? It put them in a worse spot. They knew I had the fighting attacker in the discard pile. So that was a bit of an odd play by my opponent, I will say. Worked out for me. I made that one sloppy turn, and that's where there's more pieces going on with the deck, and I'm not used to the deck. So I tend to have that one off play like I did there, right? Like I spaced about path being in play and what that meant. Hopefully I have a clean game here. All right, let's see what we can do this game. Hopefully the deck sets up. Hopefully I set the deck up well. Obviously they're not the same thing, but they are closely related to each other. Hopefully I draw into a good starting hand. I assume I'm going to go second. Yeah, so hopefully I can put 2 cards on the bench on my first turn. So Jet Energy, though, I'm going to have to discard 2 cards probably. See what I draw into. Ideally, get rid of Aerodactyl and something else. All right, so Chen Pao. So I got to anticipate they have Manaphy. I mean, I have to anticipate they play Radiant Greninja, which means I have to play Manaphy. But first, I've got to. I don't know that I'm going to get Manaphy down this turn though, so I'm going to be vulnerable to Radiant Greninja. I think next turn, because I think. Wow, it's tough what I do. Because the problem is, I kind of need 2 Ralts down at the end of this turn. Otherwise, life is difficult too. The problem is with I get down 2 Ralts and a Zorua. If they boss up the Zorua, it's game over. Okay, so that's okay. All right, so what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to grab something. So I'm going to get the Basculin down. I'll Flapple. I'm going to use Zinnias, right? Get these 2 guys into the discard pile. Yeah, I'll do that. See what I draw into. All right, well, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, so I'm not gonna. So Basculin and Jet Energy to the Basculin. This is where this is one of the uses of the Jet Energy. And I'm gonna grab 1 Zorua and 1 Ralts. Let me just look at here, make sure. Yep, I got a bunch of Kirlias. Okay. Okay, so my other Jet Energy's prize. That's okay. So this is good. This is good. Well, it depends what happens here, right? I probably need now. I need to get down to Manaphy. So I really would like, honestly, if they knock out my Basculin, that's what I need to happen here. Okay, they're not going to boss me. So they knock out Basculin. That's what I want to happen. Period. Now I don't have a metal attacker, so I can't hit them for weakness. I do have the fighting attacker, so I can one-shot them. That's I think what I need to do now. Now I need to get them. I need to get them onto the single prize situation too, right? At some point, I need to take out a single prizer. I mean, look, if I take out 2 prizer, 2 prizer, 2 prizer, I will win the game that way too. I think they're going to oblige me by taking out my Basculin. I send up the Zorua. I evolve into Zoroark. So they're tossing up, man. That's weird. I mean, there is the ones. There are some bench hitters, but not a lot. I'm not sure all the options. There obviously are a lot of options, I guess. So all goes into hand. So that worked out very nicely for them. They got the blinged out deck. That Pokestop worked out very well. So they don't have to get rid of 1 energy too. That's a plus. So I need to knock out the active. So they're going to be one-shotting me. See what happens here. Hopefully I top deck something good because because right now I honestly don't want to discard these cards. I don't want to discard any of these cards, right? I'll have to grab a Kirlia. Okay, so that's good. All right, so I play him down. Arezu. So I'm going to discard, what, 2 cards to discard. Because, all right, so I want to attack with you, which gets the knockout, right? No, wait, what gets the knockout? No, Cetitan takes the knockout, right? Let me get down to Slowbro, and I want to get a Kirlia into play, right? Discard with the Ultra Ball. Yeah. What happened? Oh, they conceded? Okay. Bit surprised. I was being slow there, but all right, so there we go. I think I might call it a day with that. So